Gifts. Laying down. Cutting off my head a little bit. Okay, we're gonna talk about gift giving.
Oh, the nerd fighters!
So I watched the previous NFI videos this week, and I also just finished watching the John and Sarah Green Paper Towns movie commentary. And it's got me thinking about gifts, giving things such as our time and giving things that are physical that we can handle. Recently, Hank Green made a very good video just about different cultures and how they care and they give to charity and they just want to celebrate caring and giving to people. And I'm so glad that where I am, we always focus on that generosity and that caring for people in more than one way. Very diverse approach to that. And I see that in many ways, in ways that I participate and contribute to things with my time and my skills and my talents, or I support people on Patreon monetarily when I can, or I just create things for people that I don't always know benefit from what I create. And that's a great thing, to be able to give gifts in ways that are completely unexpected in terms of the value and benefit that they provide. That's just really cool. You can create something and put it out there, and a lot of times you don't even know how it's going to benefit people. Gift giving can be something that's thought out and personal and intentional for somebody that's close to you and somebody that's a part of your life story. Or it can be a sort of reaching out to other people in a way that they're not always a part of your story, but by giving to them, you can actually help them give back to other people and sort of embellish and benefit their own story. Like, you don't want to take over their story, but you want to actually help them build their own. I guess whether we're trying to create communities of people that can come together and create things like the Project for Awesome, or some sort of facet that we're celebrating in any way, or we're creating on an individual basis and connecting with people and creating miracles of our own. One of the things I took away was at the end of Paper Towns, where, spoiler alert if you haven't actually seen it, where Quentin talks about how the miracle he created was at the end. I think those are just a bunch of intermingling of stories together with what we're able to provide. I think I gave more gifts this holiday monetarily and just creating things, like being able to just let people know that you care and celebrating that. That's one of the things we have to just consistently do all the time. But action shouldn't be required to know and be aware of it. Action should just be a way to celebrate that. You shouldn't have to do something to be grateful. You should just, it's one of the best ways of expressing gratitude and caring for people, is showing that you do, to remind people. It's like the more we're grateful and the more we realize we can share, the more value we realize that's inexhaustible in all of us, that we can actually create gifts and share value and understand that we're really all a part of this. We all have a story that we share together, and sort of individual stories that are based off of the variables that we experience, the constants and variables. By caring and giving and supporting people and just having a general all true love for people, unnoticed, unsung heroes doing what is right because it's helpful and it's good and it's a part of the we story. It's a part of a sort of a compassion and love for all of humanity, which is ultimately the goal, I think, of every gift we give people. It's not so much the gift that matters, it's the giving of the gift that matters. I think even through small, simple acts of kindness, we're able to create miracles that we see and that we don't see. And I do think noticing them is the key to understanding how much value you can provide with a smile or a question or just talking and conversing, just sharing as much value as you can. This year, actually, I sort of experienced a sort of Christmas carol happening miracle in my life. I met my grandparents on my mom's side of the family, who weren't always very, very nice to my mom, but we actually had a peaceful, humble, enjoyable dinner together on Christmas Day. And those are two people that I never expected to ever meet in my life because of the past and the ability to let go of the past and not confront it. What I've learned from that, as Fred welcomed Ebenezer Scrooge, is to always welcome people for the opportunity to change, to give them space when they need it, and I think to just be inviting always of people, because we can't change people's stories, right? This is my story to tell. You have your story to tell. We can collectively tell a story together, but we can never individually control one another's stories. We can only really control our own. I think the main lesson behind that happening is to always have the door open and be inviting for when people decide to change for the better. Because honestly, that's all you can really do, and that's a fantastic gift. I don't think it gets much better than that. We talked about the gift of time, the the gift of making a gift well thought out for the person, buying gifts throughout the year, not just during celebrations, buying gifts when you think of people and sharing and just connecting and building, fostering a strong library of people. That's fantastic. I mean, while we're here. It's so easy for me to get philosophical, isn't it? I always come back to the ability to share the present moment with people, to share your time, which you are spending currently right now watching this video, so I appreciate that as much as possible. Whether you're doing virtually or in person or by creating something or sharing, I think we can use this time to do cool and interesting things, you know? To do things that don't suck with people that don't suck, as that Project for Awesome poster says. I paraphrased a bit there. So I hope you've had a wonderful holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Festivus for the rest of us, whatever you celebrate, however you celebrate. I hope it's been very enjoyable and full of sharing of love and gifts and happiness and presents and presents. I, for one, am as humble and grateful and happy as I have ever been, and especially during this holiday with many celebrations. It's been very, very amazing and unforgettable. Yolanda, we will see you tomorrow for the theme of beginnings and nerd fighters. As always, DFTBA.